Hello, farmers, and welcome back to Western Australia. Just been sitting in the Massey Ferguson for about the past hour, plowing up this field. Frank did about the first hour in the field. I think it's been almost 2 hours to get this field plowed. Of course, it's a plowing contract for about $45,000. In the meantime, I did take up the cultivating contract that you may have saw last episode in field number 15. Oh, I'm finally done. Thank you. In field number 15, I did borrow the items for that. So that contract is complete. So I got 2 contracts to collect on. And yeah, I've pretty much had it plowing this field. How long did it take us here, combined work to get this done? If I go here, time played, 1 hour 47 minutes. Like I said, Frank did about the first hour in this field. And in the first hour, I was doing some farm manager stuff, which we'll go over here in just a second. Let's go ahead and collect on these contracts. So plowing for $45,860, let's collect on that. And cultivating contract right here, leasing fees $6,672, bringing it down to $24,604, but it's still $24,604 that will get paid for that, bringing us up to $354,000 in the bank account. My lights should stay on. I don't need the working lights. Let me put on my beacons. Make sure I get on the left-hand side of the road and drive back to the farm, because we are going to call it a month here. Oh, a whole bunch of traffic coming across. We'll just skip across here. Yeah, we're going to go over a few things before we call it a night, get into the month of October, which we are in spring. And I'm hoping there is a field that will... Oh, you know what? Let's just get back to the farm. We'll go over it, because like I said, I did some farm managing stuff for the first hour I've been on today. Might have to get ourselves a pressure washer in the near future. Looking out the front windscreen, it's getting kind of dirty. But luckily, most of the time we are in third person. But driving back to the farm, yeah, it's good to see a little bit in-cab work. As for the grass field, that's not going to be ready to cut until December. So we got a ways to go before we actually do any work in our own field itself. Let's see if we can turn the beacons off. We'll turn the lights off as well. So as I said, the first hour as Frank was plowing up the field, and I think it was Franco that did the cultivating job, I was just looking around the farm, seeing how to bring in some more cash. So I thought about turning everything on in the greenhouse over here, and I did. So I got everything on selling directly other than the strawberries. The strawberries are going over, of course, to our production building to make strawberry juice, as we sold that last episode and brought in a whole bunch of cash. So yeah, I got everything on here selling directly. Since I'm running the revamp production mod, from the sale items, I get 90%. Even though we're on hard economy, I'll get 90% of the sale. So if something's selling for $100 per 1,000 liters, I'll get $90 for it. So instead of transporting all the pallets, because we're just not making the usual tomatoes, lettuce, and what's the other one that usually make in here? Well, if I just go down the list, it's tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, green peppers, cucumbers, and onions. So everything's being sold directly except for the strawberries. The orchard's still doing the orchard thing. We are getting some apples. And as for, like I said, our grass field, that's not going to be ready until December. The grass hasn't started to grow yet. So next month it will be in the first growth stage, which will be October. November will be the first harvest stage, and then December will be the final harvest stage. So I was looking at the fields, and at the end of last episode, the field next to it, which I was looking at, is now a cotton field. This was a sunflower field, but I think that was from last year's harvest, because when I logged in today and I checked it, it now says the field's been plowed. So that must have been sunflowers planted last year. So now I'm waiting to see what gets planted in that field this year. What is the price of the field right now? Well, it's not great at all. $518,000. We are running the dynamic field price mod, and right now is 21% over the base price. So base price is roughly, if you look at 20%, is roughly about $400,000 for that field. So we got to wait for that to come on down and see what happens there. Also on field info, not the greatest soil apparently distribution in that area. Overall expected yield is at 99%, so it's not bad. But to give a rough idea, the grass field that we own, expected yield potential, because we got most of the loam soil, is 115%. And over here, this is 114%, mostly loam as well. So we're going to wait to see what happens with this field here. Yeah, the cotton is growing here. I would also, since we are running also crop rotation, I can only see what my crop rotation is in my field. So you look at the bottom of the screen, it says previous harvest was grass, and before that it was oats, which we do know because we did that. As for the cotton field, I want to say that field the year before was soybean. So looking at soybean to cotton, expected yield, crop rotation yield is like at 95%. I don't know what it was the year before, but nothing I can do about it. I'm going to keep my eye on the other field next and see what that price is. Okay, also, I keep looking in the used vehicle sales, which I shouldn't be doing because I should be saving up money for buying land, and then I can take a loan out on the land that we buy. More land is more important because we can get this grass field done as we did at the end of last season with the tractors that we have. But we do have to, of course, borrow the mower, the baler, and, of course, the windrower. Let's sneak into here. We'll shut the door just because. And we are ready to go to bed. So we're going to bed with 354, 407. See if we make money overnight. I mean, we got our loan payment, but now that we're selling some stuff out of the greenhouse, maybe we'll be a little bit over. 354, 407. Okay. Yeah, didn't really do. I mean, we lost money, but then we did. I'm pretty sure we sold some stuff to offset it somewhat. All right, rise and shine. So as we know, I don't have any work to do in my field now for a couple months, so it's pretty much going to be doing contract work from here on until December. But let's have a look. Okay, so that field is still plowed. Now, I'm kind of hoping that they plant oats in that field. But let's see the farmland. What's the price this morning? Well, it's still over the base price, 15%, but the price has come down to $4.93. Yeah, I can kind of hope that they plant oats in that field. I think because I want straw. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for the calendar. I want straw. So wheat and barley, that had to have been planted in the fall, in March and April. So oats is our only hope to get straw. I'm not running a straw mod or anything like that. So, I mean, they could plant oats, corn, sunflowers, soybean, potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane, sorghum. They're not going to do grapes or olives. They're not. Well, I shouldn't say they're not going to do poplar. I don't know. But those are the crops they could plant this month. And actually, if I go into contracts, weed, sowing field number 15. Well, I guess that's something we could do. Boy, those are the only contracts available to us. I would like to find... okay, never mind about planting. That contract just disappeared right in front of our eyes. Did they plant the field now? Was that a whole reset? Oh, man. Well, that field is still barren, still plowed, so I have no idea what's going on there. So, is this going to be a month I just skip? Do I dare check? Well, there is the baler. Well, maybe not the particular baler, but we did use a Pottinger baler the first year for straw bales. If it was the one we just used, I probably would buy that, which was the Fendt. I think it was a Fendt one that we had with the wrapper in the back. I would be interested in that because we're going to be doing a lot of baling. Well, all right. Well, I really don't feel like doing weeding contracts, but okay, the other weeding the contracts are just coming and going rather quick. So let's go ahead and speed up time here. At least here in Western Australia, I don't really have a time frame like we got, by year 5 we got to do this, that, or the other thing. It's just, Hudson wants us to get a farm built here, and that's all we're really trying to do for him. Or Huddo, or Hudo, or whatever his nickname would be, as someone mentioned. Whole bunch of fertilizing contracts. Slow the boat down here. Fertilize field number 11 for 62,000. All right, we'll accept that. What's the next highest paying one? Field number 19. We'll take that. And just to mix it up, another sowing contract with corn. They will take 5,900 out of it if we use it. So borrow items. Perfect. Alright, let's get the John Deere out and going. I've been kind of thinking about also restricting on how many contracts I do per month. But then I kind of went back on myself. This is what I was doing my whole farm managing stuff when Frank and Franco were doing their thing. I thought about, I should restrict how many contracts I could do per month. But then I started looking at the cost of everything that I need to do on the farm. It's like, maybe I shouldn't do that because we need the money to roll on in. All right, field number 11 I'm sure that's the fertilizing contracts because it's got a crop in it, right? Yeah. So we'll bring. Yeah, we got plenty of fuel right across the road here. We'll get a worker going. Shouldn't take that long. I mean, it is a big field. It's going to take a while, but with this setup here, it's not going to take too long, and the payout will be great. So just get into the field here. Scroll on up, and we need to be here. Create job. Field work. Target position. That will be fine. Open course play. 2 headlands ought to be good enough. And we'll just do a 1% overlap. It's a big field, so give course play a moment. Plus, it does have a couple of areas it does have to go around. Hopefully, it can figure it out. I did have a problem with course play in field number... well, it's the one, I think it's 24. It had a problem figuring out. Alright, so it didn't take too long. Make sure this is on the widest working width. It is, which I should have checked before I set a worker or course play to figure out the course. Alright, we'll let them do their thing. Oops, that's where I needed to be. I could buy seed here. What field am I doing for planting? Sowing field number 9. Well, 11 is there. 9 is right up there. Well, we're right here. I could buy some seed here. Let's see. How much seed should I buy is the question. Big bags. Usually I just get it from the seed hut. We don't have the seed hut down here. So 1,000 liters. All right. So we'll buy... Is 3,000 liters going to be enough? I have no idea. If I need more, we'll come back and get it. Not that big of a deal. And what am I planting? I think it's already set for corn. Plant with corn. All right. You know, I may not even be able to hold that many amount of liters. Yep, can only hold 2,000. Well, it holds what it holds. But we'll make a good amount of money, and we're working our way up towards possibly buying field number 5? Field number 3. I apologize. Because I could buy that and plant whatever I want in it. The one thing I won't be able to do is take like this planter and go plant in my field because it'll say reserved for contract work only. Now I could, if other planting contracts come up, I could just accept the contract and use this planter. But I'm trying to cut back on the amount of contracts I did. Like on American Falls, I did loads of contracts. And here I'm just doing contracts because our grass field just won't be ready for another couple months. And of course, when we cut the grass, we'll make some more silage. Depending on how we're doing, though, when we cut the grass next time, I may start making some hay for the sheep. We could get the sheep in December. We'll have to wait and see how we're doing financially. So I guess this is the biggest planter they wanted to give me for doing this field. This will take a while. But what I may do is do like half of this field, and then when the worker gets done fertilizing the other one, we may switch and start fertilizing the other field. Let me go ahead and just set, I guess we'll set the cruise control, because, yeah, I don't need to be stepping on the pedal the entire time. So yeah, so getting started in the series is going a little bit slower than I thought. But overall, I think it's going okay. I would just rather be working on our own farm currently. And also in the future, after selling the strawberry juice, that could be something else I put on sale directly. Because bringing down that many pallets, that was a workload for the trailer we had. I got way more pallets. I mean, I could go in the XML file and make the pallets hold more. I did that, like, for the potatoes on Hinterland, because those only held, I don't remember what the total was, but I upped it quite a bit. So I could do something like that, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Because in the future, it's not going to be just strawberry juice, and we also are now making apple juice as well, because the apple orchard is now producing apples, so we'll get apple juice as well. But in the future, we're going to be making a whole bunch of other products in that production building. So it won't be just strawberry juice. Not quite sure what's going on this side of the field, because I'm right next to where we are fertilizing field number 11. It kind of looks like my worker, when they were doing the first headland, came on to this field, because the lime is missing in some spots. And yeah, didn't really get done that section there, so it's almost like maybe the fields aren't quite aligned, and course players either merging some fields together, I have no idea. But we can see the John Deere 6230 over there fertilizing still. So as long as we get the contract done, we'll be good to go. There was a comment, and it might be an idea that we will do, depending on how we're actually doing financially, and I won't know until the end of this season, where someone said maybe just do contracts for the first year and a half, which does sound like a good idea. But I just hope, you know, if we got financially that we're good, then I'm okay. You know, like I said, the less contracts I do, I just want to focus on our own farmland, or Hudson's farm anyways, kind of focus on that. So it does say, I noticed it when I logged in today, and I was kind of confused at first, because it says we're in year number 2. So we did start the series in February, which is the fall in Australia. And I'm guessing the way the mod works for putting up what year we're in is when the season goes into spring, that's the years that is counting. The harvest season's not the monthly season. So it's not going into year 2 from December to January. It's counting the year probably in June/July. So, yeah, we are in year number 2. So by the end of this harvest season, which will be at the end of June, sounds kind of weird, next year, that'll be our year and a half. So we'll see how we're doing. And maybe we'll force ourselves not to do any more contracts. Hopefully by then, though, we're doing pretty well financially. We're not going to have everything that we need, of course. But as long as we have a couple of fields, so where I can harvest and get my own money off of it. The grass field, I think, is going to stay the grass field throughout the series. But the grass field is also where we're going to expand onto, like the animal pens. The cows, the sheep will be on the grass field. The sugar factory will probably be on the grass field. And, yeah, that stuff there, that's going to take up more grassland, for sure. And I am thinking about this using the sugar factory, the same one that we're using on Tuscany, only because I can use a byproduct from that in making some TMR. So I would just have to make silage off our grass field every once in a while, along with the hay. Just like we're doing in Tuscany, we use our grass field for a little bit of hay or grass and make silage out of it. And really, I'm only having the cows for the manure so I can make some compost. But I'm wondering if the greenhouses and also our production building is going to make enough organic waste to where that will keep up with the amount of compost I need to keep the orchards and the greenhouses, giving us that extra. I think the compost is extra 60%, and the fertilizer for it is like an additional 40%, giving us a yield of 200% in total. But that was the only reason why I have the cows. I didn't, didn't start the series thinking about sheep. But after episode 1, I had like 3 comments. It's people saying, it's Australia, you gotta have sheep. So, we're gonna have sheep. What field am I in? I can't be field 11, because I think that said field 11 contract 50% done. Well, that's definitely not me being 50% done. It's got to be the fertilizing contracts. That's why I love fertilizing contracts when I do them, because it gets the job done rather quickly. They pay rather well. And yes, of course, I even take into consideration that, I got to buy the fertilizer to begin with. I'm going to hit that post. All right, I'm going to probably consider that good. Don't really have to get that corner. It's such a big field, I can miss some spots and not be affected too much. Yeah, I'm going to be going to the store quite often. I've only done one headland, and I've gone through half of the sea tank. So next time around, I'll have to get some more bags. Well, we'll get the corn in. I am going to keep my eye on field number 3, see if any contracts come up for that one. And the trick used to work in 19. I don't know if it works in 22 or not. But in 19, I remember doing this before. When I was looking at buying land, and it didn't have a crop in it yet, it was planting season. So like field number 3, we want that. I want them to plant oats. If a contract comes up and says, oh, we want to plant soybean, you accept the contract, you then cancel it, and then the game would spit out another contract for field number 3, and it may say, all right, field number 3, let's plant sunflower. Nope, try again. You accept the contract, you cancel it, the game recycles, and you just keep doing that until you get the crop you want. But eventually the game would give up and be like, yeah, I'm done asking you to do that contract. I'm just going to put my own seed in, and you're gonna have to live with it. I mean, if they plant oats in that, that'd be great, because that's the crop we want, because we need straw. That would save me from having to lease a seeder, because I don't have one. So I could pretty much buy it with the crop in it, go soil sample it, then fertilize it, and line spread what we need. That'd be the best case scenario. Actually, what we can do is just keep an eye on that field here. Alright, nothing showing yet. Let's go down to contracts. Field number 3, nothing yet. So if I do all these fertilizing contracts, currently right now, if I cash in all these contracts, that's $125, almost $130,000 on the contracts I accepted. And if I do the others, that's another 20, 30, 40, another 40,000. So we got like $200,000 worth of contracts sitting right in front of us. So if I get all these done this month, that'll make our bank account look really good. And then once we buy more land, I can take a loan out on the land. And if you haven't been following along, we are running the enhanced loan system. And from my understanding, and I got told I'm correct on it, is that you can only borrow 50% of the land value that you own. So like when we started here in Western Australia, we had that, the original field where our grass field is. And I think that was worth like, I forgot what it was worth. We can check on that real quick though. If I go farmlands, right now it's worth $800,000. So if I were to take out a loan on it, which we already did, I could borrow up to like $400,000. I think when we started, I think the land value was pretty close to $1 million. That's why we were able to borrow almost 600. Might be more than half. Might be 60% that we were able to borrow off the land. But either way, if I buy that land and the land is valued at $400,000, I might be able to borrow like $225 off of it. Which sounds great, but when you're looking for I'm looking for a bigger tractor is the next thing I want to get for the farm, only because, well, you know, before you get bigger implements, I need a bigger tractor. We got the Massey Ferguson, and even though it's a decent tractor, that's not going to be able to do what we need to on the farm. We're too far away from, you know, buying a harvester. I don't want to buy a harvester for a field to harvest. I can lease a small one until we get the one that I truly want. Where is my worker? Whoa, 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 whoa. You are fertilizing. You are fertilizing this field. I did not check on Courseplay. Did Courseplay combine these fields together? Let's see. Show course. All waypoints. You did. Well, contracts are worth it if you're just doing the fields that it's intended for. I should have checked on it. That's completely my bad, because I did it on another field when I was plowing. What field was I plowing? Well, anyways, it may have been field number. I don't remember what I was plowing, but I combined two fields together. So I gotta check on that. I knew something was weird, and I'm like, wait a minute, they should be further around by now than that. All right, let's go ahead and we'll finish up field number 11. All right, so I probably lost maybe $5,000 to $10,000 worth of fertilizer on a field that I didn't need to be doing. Must have been Frank. We'll say Frank was the one fertilizing this field. When all else fails, blame Frank. If the contract can pay as well as it is, I may be freaking out, but when you want things done, you gotta do it yourself, I guess. Yeah, so I definitely gotta keep track of Courseplay and what they are doing, I guess. Well, she's empty. Time to go back to the farm and get some more fertilizer. Oops, sorry, I was checking traffic one way, but not the other. I think I'm about 75% done with field number 11. And then we'll set them off working somewhere else, but I'll double check before I do to make sure they're just working in one field and one field only, please. 18,000 should be, or 17,999, I think it comes out to be, or 16,000. All right. That was 18,000, but 16,000, which is better. Yeah, I don't know how much fertilizer we wasted fertilizing a field that does not need to be fertilized. Let's go ahead and continue here. I think I left the John Deere over there running. Don't have to worry about the hour meter on that. I don't think it matters if I go over the hour on leased equipment for contracts. But I still got a lot left to do. Even though I'm like 75% done. But really, the working with, yeah, well, I'll probably get done like 3 passes or so. So I think this month I'll just be doing a whole bunch of contracts. I'll get a whole bunch done in between episodes as well. Fertilizing contracts, as I said, as long as I double check my workers that they're only working the field that they should be, yeah, we'll make a pretty good profit off of it. Drilling contracts, I'm just doing that just to mix it up. I don't want to be doing all fertilizing contracts in these episodes. Just like I could have just went all the way through these 3 months and got to the grass field. But, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of cutting grass this year anyways. I don't want to be episode after episode of me cutting grass and making silage. We need to make money elsewhere for a little bit. But by the end of this month, if I get all these contracts done, which I should, as long as they stay there, field number 3 should be in range for us to buy. And I would want to buy this month because I want to plant the oats in it if they don't do so for us. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if we didn't have straw this year, because actually the cow barn I want to buy is like $250,000, which is not that expensive for cow barns. But we will, I think we will have sheep when we cut the grass in 3 months, or 2 more months. So do I really need the straw right away? Let's see, harvest season would be, what, like February, March? Actually, I could have a cow barn by then. Who knows? The sooner I get the cows, the better, because of course we're going to get probably Holstein cows. It's my go-to cow, because that's what most, where I live in real life, that's what most of the farms have around. We'll get milk from them, so we can sell some milk. I'm not going to get the dairy production and all that, but then again, I think I said that on other series, and I'm getting those productions. Yeah, I don't want to be adding a whole bunch of productions. Actually, I don't really even know all the productions that are available to us down at the sell point. It's just like a spinnery. I was thinking a little bit of maybe doing the spinnery here because we are going to have sheep. And, you know, there was potentially I was going to buy field number, I'm going to call it 4, the one with the cotton in it, right next to our grass field. I was like, well, there's cotton there. We're going to have wool in the future. Maybe do a spinnery. It's like, no. We already got the fruit and veggie production going on the farm, and I don't want to go heavy into productions. We're doing heavy productions on Hills of Tuscany, as it is. Which, by the way, if you saw yesterday's episode... Yeah, I think it was yesterday's episode on Hills of Tuscany. We made a whole lot of cash selling our clothing. Tons and tons of cash. Once you get those production buildings going, you can make a whole bunch of cash. And that's what I was kind of hoping with our fruit and veggie production. But I mean, we made a lot of money off that strawberry juice in a matter of 4 months. With strawberries alone, made about 20 grand. Can't complain about that. That 20 grand pretty much repays for the greenhouse and orchard that we put down. Alright, so I'm hoping by the time I go down and make my way back up this field, even though that'll leave still a little bit left over, it's such a big field. I think in Farming Simulator, we just got to get like 95% of the field done to get the 100% of the contract. So 5% of this field not getting done is quite a big patch area. Well, one more... Okay, just as I was going to say one more pass how to do it. They are happy with that, and since fertilizer costs me money, I'm not going to worry about getting the rest of the field done. Let's go down and collect on that one right away for $62,000. And we will go ahead and take this other one for $23,000. I can only take 3 contracts at a time. I don't have the mod that allows me to take more. 12 and 19. Let's see, where are we at? We're in field number 12 or 19. There's field number 18. 19 is right here. Where is field number 12? Maybe I'll go over to field number 12 and get that one done. Or worker will anyways. Well, let's double check when I set up course play to make sure they're only working in field 12 and 12 alone. So when I set them off, I can just go seed number 11 and not have to worry about anything else what this worker's doing over here. Yeah, if you're playing in Western Australia and using course play, Keep your eye on your workers, courseplay workers, what they're doing. Now, I do realize there's a way in courseplay to set up your own fields, so if I wanted to in the future get a courseplay worker to work in those fields, I can set them up correctly. Create job. Alright, so it just has field number 12 circled. I'm looking at that, make sure that's what they see. Alright, so this one might be correct. Let's do that. That's all looking good. Generate course. Takes a little bit longer because we got some islands in there that's going to have to work around. But courseplay is only working in field number 12. Perfect. So I really shouldn't have to worry about this worker. So he says. Alright, Franco. You're in charge there. Yes, this is still running. Oops, I didn't quite get the corner done. This must be a 9RT that we're in. I didn't even check. 8RT. So I'll be doing the fertilizing contract, the planting contract all the way till the end. And I'll keep getting someone else in the 6230 to keep fertilizing the other fields. But that got us up to almost $400,000 in the bank account. And like I said, by the time I get done doing all these contracts, we're going to be approaching $500,000. I'm not too happy that field number 3, the price is above the base price with no crop in it. So I'm not really sure how that mod is working. I mean, I would assume once they put a crop in it, the value of that property is going to go up. But I really have no idea. And of course, I will keep buying some more seed for this, more fertilizer for that. I wonder if the worker was actually putting down fertilizer when they were in this field. That's right, I'm not going to be able to see because I got precision farming turned on. So that stat's going to show yield potential, expected yield. So I can't see what they fertilized. I don't think I can see on this page either with precision farming. Yeah, so you got to go to this page here for fertilizing, but that's not going to tell me anything because I don't have soil samples in that field, only my field. Well, I don't know if they were using fertilizer or not, but for the amount of fertilizer that was left in the spreader, it definitely looked like they were using it. Well, there is 2 headlands down in the field, but it's time to go back and get some more seed. Fold it on up here. I should have beacons on a 8RT, which we do. We'll just scooch out here in traffic. So one thing I noticed about Western Australia is traffic going both ways. When you see the first car coming, there's going to be about 9 cars to follow. So you could be the patient driver and wait for them to all go past. Or be like me, just time it just right and get into an opening somewhere. Pretty sure I'll be making a few trips over here to get some more seed into the drill. All right, while that's filling up, let's get another big bag of seed. Just one. No sense of buying more because I can't fit more in here. And I'm sure all the fertilizing contracts will get done before I get done planting this field. Of course, now that I mentioned about the cars, usually when you see one, it's a line of 10. They do get strung out once in a while. As long as you're playing and you keep cutting off traffic, they will start to spread out a little bit. Alright, I'm just going to put this right here. And I'll come back and do this in between episodes. I will turn off the engine. Let's go see how our 6230 is getting along. Franco's doing his thing. Yeah, it looks like he's working on the second headland. And he'll get this done. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, by the time we get all these contracts done, we'll be pretty close to $500,000 in the bank account. I mean, these two are not paying that well. But I may go ahead and do them anyways as I'm planting field number 9. And as for field number 3, well, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with that one. Yeah, don't know. It's been plowed. And I would assume if they're not planting anything in it so far this month, then they might be waiting until next month to... I don't know what they're going to do with it. Have no idea. But like I said, fingers crossed, it's oats. Because that's kind of what I'm looking for. But anyways, I think it's... if you made it this far in the episode, it's about that time to remind you, if you like what you saw, maybe think about giving the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you're thinking about doing so, please do subscribe to see more content just like this. But that is where we're going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. And I'll catch you again right here in Western Australia. But until then, have a good one.